Hello YouTube, I'm the Dual Spirit. I do videos on YouTube, Yu-Gi-Oh videos on YouTube. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel, it'll help me a lot. Today I'm going to be showing you my Magician Girl deck. It's my favorite deck to use when it comes to just casually sitting down, dueling people. It's my favorite deck to play with when I just want to casually play Yu-Gi-Oh. It's not really that competitive, but still it's a lot of fun to use. So without further ado, let's get on with the deck profile. I use 3 Palladium Oracle mana. She is my main monster of the deck. She could be special summoned whenever one of your spellcasters gets targeted while you have her in your hand or graveyard. What's good about her is that she brings out Dark Magician Girl whenever she's destroyed by battle or card effect. So I run her at 3. It's a fun deck at the end of the day. Just sit back, relax, chill with your friends. So yeah, I'm using 3 of her. Let's go to the next one. Next one is Dark Magician Girl. She is the main boss monster of the deck. She gets out by Palladium Oracle mana. You only run 1 because you don't want to draw her. There's plenty of ways to summon her out without tribute summoning. Yeah, she's the mascot of the whole deck. Overall, it's a fun deck. You run 1 Dark Magician Girl. Next is my starter card. It's 3. I run 3 Chocolate Magician Girl. She's really good when she gets attacked, because when she gets attacked, she gets to reborn 1 spellcaster from your graveyard. Mainly, you want to bring out your Palladium Oracle mana from the graveyard, because when she's on the field, whenever she dies, basically, you get special summon 1 Dark Magician Girl from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So she's a good starter because of that. And whenever during your standby phase, you get to discard any spellcaster from your hand to draw 1 card, meaning that basically she could make all of your spellcasters from your hand an upstart goblin. So that's why I run 3 of her. The next starter card that I play is 3 Berry Magician Girl. She's really good because when she's normal summoned, you get to add 1 Magician Girl from your deck to your hand. It's like a mini Stratos, and whenever she gets targeted for an attack, you change her battle position, and then you get to special summon 1 Magician Girl from your deck. Mainly, you can special summon a Dark Magician Girl whenever she gets targeted for an attack. You run 3 of her. You want to get her in your opening hand as soon as possible, just to get the deck going. That's why you run 3. That's why I run 3. Next up, I play 1 Kiwi Magician Girl. The reason why I run 1 is because she's a level 5 monster. Now, she could be good in situations. Whenever you get attacked, you could discard her from your hand. That's one of her effects. And then it boosts up your Magician Girl's attack based on how many Magician Girls are in your field and graveyard by the different names that you control. And the last effect, the main effect that I run 1, is that spellcaster monsters you control cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effect, which is really good because you want somebody guarding your life points, a monster that's guarding your life points, and you could easily bring her out with Berry Magician Girl. When Berry Magician Girl gets attacked, you just bring it out from your deck. The next card on the list, I run one Apple Magician Girl. I'm only running her at 1 because her effect is too situational. Whenever she gets attacked, you get to special summon 1 level 5 or lower spellcaster, and the target becomes that spellcaster that you summoned. Your opponent's monster's attack is also half. Her other good effect is that when she's destroyed by battle or card effect, you get to add up to 3 Magician Girl monsters with different names from your graveyard, and you get to add it to your hand. It's a good resource management. It's a good resource management to get you dueling longer. I only run 1 because that's a good ratio for her based on her effect. The last Magician Girl that I play is 1 Lemon Magician Girl. I only run 1 Lemon Magician Girl because her effect is situational. Whenever you control another spellcaster monster, you get to tribute 1 Magician Girl monster that you control other than herself, and you get to add 1 spellcaster from your deck to your hand, any spellcaster from your deck to your hand, and whenever she's targeted for an attack, you get to special summon 1 spellcaster from your hand. So this could be good because when she's targeted for an attack, you got a chance to special summon Palladium Oracle mana from your hand, and even though her effect is negated, whenever she dies, her effect will activate in the graveyard, meaning you get to special summon 1 Dark Magician Girl from your hand, deck, or graveyard. But again, it's a little situational. That's why I run 1 Lemon Magician Girl. Lastly, the last monster I play is 2 Lava Golems. Lava Golem is really good because it inflicts 1000 damage to your opponent during their standby phase, and giving Lava Golem is not really a problem with this deck because all the Magician Girl's effects activate when they get targeted for an attack. Lava Golem gives pressure to your opponent to win, and running 2 is a good ratio for this, and therefore that's why I play 2 Lava Golems. On to the spell cards. The spell cards I run 3 Pot of Extravagance. This deck doesn't go to their extra deck at all. It's a plus if you do. So this card is just basically Pot of Greed when you draw it. And the only drawback to this card is that you have to activate it at the start of your main phase 1, which means that this card has to be the first card that you play. I play 3 of these because it's basically 2 free cards for this deck. The next spell card that I play is 3 Magical Dimension. What this card does is when you control a spellcaster monster, you could tribute 1 of them, and you get to special summon 1 spellcaster from your hand. Then you can destroy 1 monster your opponent controls. It's good. It's a fun card because all of your monsters, besides your Lava Golem, are spellcasters, and it makes all of the higher monsters not become dead draw. It also works well with Palladium Oracle mana because she doesn't become a dead draw from your hand, and you get to pop up an opponent's monster. Plus, now you have a monster that if she gets destroyed by battle or card effect, you get to special summon out 1 Dark Magician Girl. I run 3 because you want to see this card at all times. You don't have to special summon your high level spellcasters. You can always do the smaller ones if you want to. The next spell card that I play, it's actually a field card, is 3 Dark Sanctuary. This card is really good due to the fact that half of your opponent's attack will go through. some games you're not gonna get that effect. The main thing for this card is to protect your monsters and yourself. For those of you who don't know what it does, is when your opponent declares an attack, you flip a coin, and if it's heads, you negate the attack and you inflict burn damage equal to half of the attacking monster's attack. So this is one of the biggest RNG in this deck. It's a fun card when you have it because half of your opponent's attack will go through, and it's one of the better cards that I want to see in every of my duel. It's just a weird playstyle. It's a weird card. I have weird thoughts on this card. I like to see it as much as I can every time I duel. Speaking of which, I play one Terraforming to get it out, and I play one Field Barrier. The reason why I play one Field Barrier is because that one off chance you go up against a Mystic Mind deck and you play this first, you don't have to worry about getting Mystic Mind, even though this is a burn deck. The next spell card that I play is 3 Wave Motion Cannon. This card could help you win games. I mainly use it once when I have 2 counters on it for 2,000 life points. It adds more pressure for your opponent to win, and it's also a good distraction, so that way my Dark Sanctuary will be safe. For example, if they want a Mystical Space Typhoon, this card, and not my Dark Sanctuary, I'll be more happy for the Wave Motion Cannon to be destroyed, because Dark Sanctuary, in the long run, having your attack to go through 50% is more important to me than potentially inflicting a lot of damage with Wave Motion Cannon. It's a weird concept, but I like running 3 Wave Motion Cannon just to add the pressure to your opponent. Okay, the next card that I play is Ledger of Legerdemain. I run 3 of this card. It's like Gold Sarcophagus, but instead of 2 turns, it's 3 standby phases. And what it does is when you play it, you banish 3 cards from the top of your deck face down, and during your 3rd standby phase, you add the card from you draw your card, and then you get to add those face down cards to your hand. So it's a very good economy if you could use this effect. It's a fun card to play. You get more resources out of it, and you get more cards to use. It's a fun card if you could get it off. I run 3 because it's just a fun card if you get it off. No other thing. The next cards I play is 1 Monster Reborn, to reborn your own monster or your opponent's monster. 1 Raigeki to destroy all of your opponent's monsters. 1 Harpie's Feather Duster to destroy all of your opponent's spell or trap cards. Staples. I play 1 Dark Burning Attack. It's a fun card to play. The artwork looks great. When you control Dark Magician Girl, you get to destroy all face-up your opponent's monster's control, and then possibly attack them directly with Dark Magician Girl. 1 Moon Mirror Shield. Lastly, it's the traps. I play 1 Ceasefire. This card could burn your opponent for big damage if you have your monsters and they have their monsters. 1 Magic Cylinder to fit the theme. If you summon out your Lava Golem and they attack with it, you could just Magic Cylinder them for 3,000 damage. It's a very sneaky card. Lastly, Ring of Destruction. This card got errated to the ground. It's still a fun card if you get it off. For my extra deck, I run 1 Proxy Dragon, Salamangreat Almiraj. One Underclock Taker. One Topologic Trisbaena. Gaia the Saber, the Lightning Shadow. One Akashic Magician. Knightmare Unicorn. One Knightmare Gryphon. One Abyss Dweller. One Castel, the Skyblaster Musketeer. One Maestroke, the Symphony Djinn. One World Chalice, Guardragon, Almarduke. One Arcanite Magician. One Stardust Spark Dragon. And one Stardust Dragon. And that's my Magician Girl deck. I went with the burnt route. I hope you like it. Like and subscribe the video. It'll help me out moving forward. I'll be doing more weird Yu-Gi-Oh videos. So thanks again. Like and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video. You want to play all the Magician Girls in a fun deck. That's the reason why. Once her effect though is whenever she's targeted for an attack, you get to negate. You get to. When you control a spellcaster, you get to special summon one spellcast. The next spell card that I play is 3 Magical Dimensions. What this card does is when one spellcaster monster, and that's my Magician Girl deck. I went with the burnt.